Planned Parenthood announced this week that they would no longer be accepting compensation for fetal tissue samples. Now, perhaps they did that hoping that that would bring an end to the witch hunt that's currently trying to shut them down. But it's America, so it's not going to do that at all. Here's John Boehner, response to their change in that policy. While Planned Parenthood and other organizations may try to publicly distance themselves from the gruesome industry of selling of fetal baby parts, today's announcement does not change the facts of the investigation. It does not change that there are no facts in this investigation. David Deliedin, an anti-abortion activist, said, if the money Planned Parenthood has been receiving for baby body parts were truly legitimate reimbursement, why cancel it? This proves what CMP has been saying all along. Planned Parenthood incurs no actual costs, and the payments for harvested fetal parts have always been an extra profit margin.
So I have to say it. We told you. We told you yesterday. We covered the story of Planned Parenthood deciding to change their rule on this, and we said it's going to be perceived as the people who are doing the video were right, and they made you change the rule. And of course, liberals in D.C. being what they were, like, no, it's going to appease people. Mm-hmm. And they said, quote, we're not caving, right?
We're not caving.
Yeah, first of all, when you have to say we're not caving, you're already in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Okay? And Dawn Lagwins continued, I do hope that they will change their ways, but I'm not hopeful. They are being held hostage by the far-right anti-abortion extremist element that runs the Republican Party process. I don't see that they have a way out of it. Now, I hate that framing, too. It makes it seem like the Republican Party is the poor victim being held hostage by a certain element within the party. No, they are the perpetrators.
Yes.
They're the ones who are doing it to you.
You're the victims.
They are the anti-abortion extremists.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, look, The Hill covered this story. And look at all the verbiage around this story that gives you a sense of what went wrong. They say House Republicans are pressing ahead with their probe into Planned Parenthood, despite their group's decision to abandon the most controversial aspect of its fetal tissue program. So despite the fact that you did it, they're going ahead anyway. Later, John Boehner says that he pledged to deepen the investigation. When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? When you give in to them, they don't want less, they want more.
Yeah.
They think, yes, mission accomplished. We got them to bend again.
Yep.
We should hit them harder. And in fact, in the second paragraph, The Hill explains that they were, quote, bending to pressure. That's a direct quote. And then Boehner also said about the idea of Planned Parenthood changing this rule, he dismissed the move. Of course he dismissed the move. And I'm going to keep on going. Chaffetz, who's one of the Republicans who was attacking Planned Parenthood, he said this was a, quote, a good, tangible result for us. Okay? And he said the GOP investigations that got this good result are far from over. See, you rewarded them.
Yeah.
You rewarded the trolls.
They looked bad
Don't feed
before.
the trolls. It's the oldest lesson there is. You feed the trolls and they're like, yes, we got them to change the rules. Let's attack harder. I'm not done yet. Okay. David Deliedin, who led this campaign against Planned Parenthood, said he was quick to claim victory. You have given victory to the people who came in with these doctored, edited tapes. They did a hatchet job on you. You took out the hatchet from your back and hit yourself with it. Okay? And then the guy's like, oh, I didn't think you were going to do that. Great, I claim victory.
Awesome.
Right? And he said that...
Tangible results.
And he said when Planned Parenthood changed their rule on this, there was nothing wrong with the rule in the first place, okay? It was to get fees for transporting fetal tissue going to science. The people doing the scientific research were giving a nominal $45 to $60 fee for the transportation. There's nothing wrong with that rule. But when Planned Parenthood changed that rule, this guy who made the videos said it was, quote, an admission of guilt.
Of course they're going to see it that way.
Of course it's going to be perceived that way. When are liberals in D.C. ever going to learn? Now, the rest of us liberals and progressives out here in the rest of the country, we don't agree. We don't agree with your tactics of bowing your head and bending to pressure and caving in. We don't agree. Stop it, stop it, stop it. We're so tired of you giving in to Republicans at every turn. And every time they come after you with a hatchet job, oh, I'm sorry. Fuck it, don't say sorry anymore, man. God damn it, we're sick of it. Go harder against them. Say, Now they took it from 6 clinics who were doing this for science, so you could do research and save lives. Now it's down to 2 clinics since the so-called scandal.
Yeah.
I'd have done it in 12 clinics. I'd have done it in 24 clinics. Every time the Republicans open an investigation, I'd say, I'm doubling the number of clinics that are doing fetal tissue to scientists, okay? And I'm going to do a campaign where I raise money to make sure we can do more scientific research. Come at me again, bitch. Come at me again, right? But they don't do that. They don't do that. They reward the people who attack them by giving in to them. Don't feed the fucking trolls. We're sick of it.
That's what's so frustrating also about the Hill. Despite the group's decision to abandon the most controversial aspects of its fetal tissue program, that has led to cures and saved millions of lives. That's what, like, if you were Planned Parenthood, you say, you know what, your doctored videotapes are absolute bullshit, but I'm glad that you brought up the fetal tissue research, because not enough people know that our contributions to that have led to vaccines that have saved the lives of fetuses that people wanted to bring into the world, that have saved literally millions of lives over the course of decades. They save mothers' lives, they save kids' lives. You want to shut that down, we're expanding it in the way that Cenk was saying.
See,
they could have done that.
Look, dude, you say, why do Republicans want to kill fetuses? Why are they so against science? Why are they against medical advancement? And then you bring out a woman whose baby was saved by this scientific research. Come on, it's not that fucking hard. Figure it out, okay? And then you bring her out, you bring out a dozen of them. Cecile Richards, they invited you to the Congress. They grilled you for 5 hours, right? You should have come with a dozen women whose babies were saved by this scientific research and said, hey, you Republicans, you want us to stop funding this, helping this research?
Yeah.
All these babies would have been dead because of you. They never would have been alive because of you. You want to go? No, I'm going to save these babies no matter what you do. I'm pro-life, you're anti-life.